This is a WWN Publishing Group recording. Copyright 2016, all rights reserved. This is an abridged version of Killmore by Martha Sweeney to make the story appropriate for all listeners. If you want to read the complete story, you can find the ebook or paperback online. Links are provided in the description below. Killmore, Book 1 of the 2-book series. Read to you by the author. Chapter 7, Laurie. The next day, I wake at my usual time of 5 and change for my morning run. Kane and Mabel eagerly wait by the door as I finish getting ready. They've already been fed and out once. As the morning sun continues to rise above the mountains, the three of us head out for one of our 5 regular running routes that range from 2 to 5 miles in distance by the time we return to home. I have a second small snack just before stretching and then make my way into my workout area where I proceed to practice my self-defense techniques. Each morning after our cardio, I either use a punching bag, lift weights, practice martial arts, meditate, or go to the gun range. Ever since Leah Badeau died in that hospital, giving birth to Laurie Breitsprecher, when they released me into protective custody exactly 7 years ago today, I've been on a mission to always be ready for the day the devil comes calling for his debts to be repaid. Despite the fact that Antonio told me that he loved me and would never hurt me, I can never be too cautious. The Miami papers said I died that night, along with my ex-husband who they claimed was the model cop, trying to do the right thing. To me, the rest of my family, and everyone who knew me, the old me, Leah, is dead. My body has changed in more ways than one. I got an ugly scar on my left shoulder from the gunshot wound when Jack shot me just before I pumped 2 bullets into his chest. To cover the marks and prevent questions, I used well-placed tattoos to disguise the scar. An intricate black design of Lord Ganesh, the Hindu god of new beginnings, an overseer of obstacles, spans from my shoulder down just past my elbow and wraps a little over onto my back. The other biggest change of appearance for me is that my long, dark brown hair that used to reach the middle of my back is now short, as in pixie-style short, with long bangs that reach my chin. Oh, and it's blonde. The only other difference with my body is my physique. I'm still curvy, but I've got a lot more strength and power. Most days, I don't bother going into town. It's better that way for keeping a low profile. Besides, I have employees who practically run my business that the Fed set up for me. I knew I'd go stir-crazy if I didn't have something to do, and with them covering all of the initial capital and everything, I get to run my own little cafe and restaurant in this tiny lake town called Willow Rock. Tax-free too, of course. The store is active regularly, especially when the spring and summer arrive for all the tourists who come to vacation. There are several other restaurants, but mine is one of the 2 food-conscious businesses for our town and the surrounding area for up to a 100-mile radius. I only use local, organically grown ingredients that either I grow or buy directly from the local Native American tribe. The other restaurant is more expensive and tailored specifically for the country club members whose pockets are deep. Tourists will be flocking into our area in the next 2 weeks, as they do every year. Our town is not your typical vacation destination for the average Joe. It is for those within the higher income brackets and the wealthy who want a place to get away while keeping a low profile. Once the vacationers arrive, everyone's profits will increase nicely and make me much more of a recluse. I'm not a fan of crowds. Too much distraction and too much to have to monitor. Once I'm showered, the dogs and I venture into our greenhouse garden where I grow most of my own food. The greenhouse stretches the length of the left side of my house with solid bulletproof windows for added security, along with tripwires for large intruders at night. The alarms have gone off a few times due to deer or other large and small animals, but it's rare. The cameras that are scattered around my property make it easy to monitor when I'm inside the house or away. The rest of the house is designed to be a safe haven. It's completely bulletproof and pretty much impenetrable, all while looking like a modern, chic-style home, inside and out. There are guns all over the interior, along with other resources and weapons for my protection should anyone unwanted come knocking. After lunch, I collect all of the guns I have hidden in my home and start cleaning them. It's my monthly ritual to make sure they're fully functional. Kane, Mabel, and I go outside every so often as a break, and I let them run around tossing a ball or stick when they request it. With the warmer weather already here, the dogs venture more into the lake that is 50 yards from the back of the house and sprawling trees that hide my home from view. Before dinner, I'm inside and on the couch with the dogs, reading and resume the cleaning when I'm done eating. Each day is different, but there are a set of certain activities I always partake in each week. For the cafe, I'll look up new recipes, trying them at home before talking to Trudy. Most days, I'll check some basic news and highlights on the internet, including social media, to see if there are any noticeable trends to be aware of. You'd be amazed at how much intel you can collect from social media and other outlets pretty easily. Antonio has yet to be found by the feds. He was never caught the last night I saw him. Most evenings, I'm reading stuff online or watching a movie. Some nights, when pleasuring myself isn't doing the job, I'll make my way over to Dr. Cody's for a little action. I know I said I'd never let another man in, and I haven't, treating Cody and any other man more like a living toy than I ever did with Antonio. I know that Cody deserves more, but I can't give it to him. I won't. Tonight, my physical needs argue enough with my mind to get me off the couch and driving over to the doc's house. Kane and Mabel go with me. They go everywhere I go since they're the only ones I can trust to guard and protect me. "Hey, cutie," Cody greets a few seconds after I ring his doorbell. "Hey," I return. "I'm glad you came over. I missed you yesterday," he says, letting me in and petting the dogs after they greet Hunter, his golden retriever. Cody greets me with the usual weird hug and kiss. It's the same embrace that men use with their girlfriends. I find myself accepting it, needing the context since self-satisfaction hasn't been doing the job. His lips warm my cheek and my body ignites, knowing that release is coming. I had to watch the boys for Trudy, I explain. "How are they doing?" Cody asks, ever the gentleman. "Good," I answer. Wanting to minimize awkwardness like always, I step into him, announcing my intention. "You hungry?" he checks as I press his body backward towards his bedroom. "No," I reply, kissing him more. "Did you want to relax a little on that?" "No," I interrupt, removing his shirt. He pulls away, avoiding my lips. "What?" I ask, slightly annoyed. "Why don't you ever want to just hang out or talk?" he asks. "We've been through this, Cody," I retaliate. "I don't do the whole girlfriend thing, or the talking thing, or anything else that most women do other than just sex." "Why not?" he presses. This isn't the first time he's tried to get me to talk. I stare at him blankly. Either you want to have sex or you don't. You're a man, so I know you want to. If you don't, fine, just let me know and I'll be on my way. "Why won't you at least let me take you out on a date?" he continues. I let out a sigh. "Fine," I return. "Have it your way." I spin and start moving toward the door. "Don't go," he requests, snatching me by the arm. "Are you going to stop asking questions?" I search. "I don't know," he answers bashfully. "Cody," I sigh, "no matter how many times you ask, it'll be the same thing. I don't want a boyfriend. I don't want a husband. I just want to get laid." "That's because you've never really been anywhere outside this town other than where you went to college. And even then, you didn't experience much of life because you were too busy studying from what you said," I remind. "But I really like you," he presents. "You hardly know me," I state. "Exactly," he answers. "That doesn't make any sense," I challenge. "I know. We've been sleeping together for 2 years, on again, off again, and I know I like you, but I don't even really know you. You don't tell me anything about yourself, and I have to guess based off of our time together or when I see you in town." "That's what I like about this," I comment. "You're the same way with everyone in town, except Trudy and the Leonards," he breaches. "Don't," I direct. "I want to know you," he replies. "You know enough." "All I know, aside from the obvious, is that you're a gorgeous woman who has a rockin' body, loves to have sex, has her own store here in town, loves dogs, lives alone for some odd reason, doesn't want a relationship, yet gets along with a single mother and her 2 sons. Are you done?" I snap. "Maybe," Cody returns. "Plus, I've never been inside your house." "Good night," I say, continuing my way toward the door. "Please, Laurie, don't go," he begs, following me. "Unless you can come to grips that this will never be more than sex, Cody, I think it's best that I go." "I'm sorry that someone has hurt you before," he begins. "Are you fucking kidding me right now?" I jerk away from him. "Good night, Cody." As I get the door open, Kane and Mabel are on my heels, ready to leave. "Laurie, come on," he pleads, chasing after me. I continue out the door, hop into my truck, and make my way home without another word. 10 minutes later, I'm barging into my own home, stomping upstairs, and proceed to masturbate to some porn before taking a hot bath to soak the tension that still permeates in my body. This is the end of this chapter. Thank you for listening. I hope you're enjoying the story so far. To read the full, unabridged version, you can find a link in the description below. To find out about new releases before the general public, be sure to subscribe to my newsletter. You'll find a link in the description as well. Also, to be notified when the next chapter is published, make sure you subscribe to my channel.